going to be focusing on specifically the components for handwriting, but these also flow into other activities that require the same movements: buttoning, zipping, shoe tying, even opening like a milk container, taking the lid off of something, opening a pop can, anything that requires fine motor intrinsic movements or visual motor activities. This activity may take up to 30 minutes, but of course give your child breaks, and I want to make sure you have opportunities to pause or come back to the video if necessary. So enjoy, and if you have any questions, you can email me, and I'd love to see an email or a video with a picture or something of your final project. So let's begin. First, I want to talk about I have videos with but I'm going to be more detailed in this one to explain why it's important to have proper pencil grip. So proper pencil grip is called a tripod grasp, where you have your pencil or pen resting up against the base, which would be your middle finger. Your index finger is on one side for support, and the thumb is opposite of the middle finger. The reason why it's called a tripod grasp is if you remove the pencil, you can see a triangle shape. And so once you put the pencil back in, it's called a tripod grasp, and it has proper support. The base of the pencil, it should be in that web space between your index finger and your thumb. It should be resting there. This is proper positioning because you're able to use your intrinsic muscles to make very fine movements and to write small. Next component of handwriting is your wrist position. So your wrist position is extended about 30 degrees. Some people, when they write with the wrist flex like this, they'll use the entire hand to write. And when you do have that wrist extension, you're able to just use the intrinsic muscles. The next component for proper handwriting is your elbow position. It should be braced against your body for support. Whenever I see a student whose elbow is out like this, I tend to assume that student has some difficulty with positioning and they need more support. That's usually because they have low tone, maybe not enough strength in their arms or their torso, and they're bracing themselves on the table for support. So their shoulder may be a little weaker as well. The problem with having these components out of proper position, and this is called proximal, closer to the center of the body. These proximal positions, if they are not in proper order, then what tends to happen is if the arm is out away from the body, then usually the wrist will follow as well. So now you've got improper position between your shoulder and elbow, also causing your wrist to have improper position, and all of that will add up to a less legible handwriting outcome. Students will usually write larger, not write on the line, and also write illegible. So if we fix these areas, we oftentimes will fix the actual legibility of the handwriting. So how do we do that? If a student does have lower tone, we want to work on strengthening. So I will go over some yoga poses, but I also want to tell you some other ways you can fix that. You could place something underneath the student's arm for them to hold. It could be a folder, it could be a paper plate, something that gives them a physical cue that will keep their arm in. And as you can see, it's hard to actually flex my wrist at that point. My wrist will actually naturally go into the proper position when the proximal muscle groups are in the proper position. Sometimes it automatically fixes. The next way you can do that, if your child is still holding the wrist up, you can just give a gentle cue with your fingers on top. If you say fix your wrist, they don't even know that it's not fixed. So I don't think they will understand that. So sometimes just gently putting your hand, 2 fingers on the wrist, will allow them to get that. So now that we have one way of fixing the proximal muscle groups that will help with handwriting and strengthening the intrinsic muscles, another way we can do that is with exercise. A fun way to exercise for these muscle groups is yoga. I did do a yoga video as well as Miss Victoria, but I want to show you some yoga moves specifically for working on these areas. And we could go up against the wall as our first example. So Miss Victoria is filming me. She's going to go over and we're going to use one of the walls over here. This is fun. You could do this outside. You can do this in the home. I do want to show you different areas you can do this with because it's fun. Let's make these exercises fun. So if you put your hands up against the wall, what you want to do is focus on our upper body. We want to move our legs back a little bit, so I'm putting more pressure against my hands. And if your student makes a triangle, or you could put a mark on the wall or a piece of paper on the wall where they will gently put their nose into the triangle and back up. It is a modified push-up that is working on triceps, shoulders, as well as forearms. And of course, you're getting the finger strengthening as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I would suggest 5 of those because we've got more exercises to do. Another exercise your student can do is walking down the wall until they touch their toes. If they're not able to touch their toes, they walk down as far as they can, and maybe they touch their knees, and then they walk back up the wall. Again, if the feet are behind them, they're putting more weight on their arms and getting the strength in their fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do that 5, maybe up to 10 times. Don't overdo it because we have more exercises. Here's a fun one when they're sitting on the ground. What you want to happen is, again, you want most of the weight to go on the hands and the arms. So if the knees are bent and the feet are behind underneath them, they can go up and down and up and down. Realizing which hand is dominant for your student will also help because you can give your child high fives with either hand. So you can be above them and give a high five. Let's switch. High five. And that's going to increase the pressure and the amount of weight that's on their hands. So high five. High five. All right, those are 3 wonderful exercises for strengthening